What is up, my fellow budget travelers? In today's video, I went to the Painted Canyons. Yes, I got lost, but hopefully this video will help you so you do not get lost. But on your way there, you're going to see the Salton Sea over on your left. And then as you come up to the entrance, you're going to see this sign. I really suggest that you have a four-wheel drive because it's one of those like washboard roads that you're just going to shake a lot. As you can see here, you can see the car going up and down. So here's a couple quick notes to know what to expect. It is about 4.5 miles if you stay on the trail. We kind of like backtracked because, as I said, we got lost because there's not much shade and it was so hot where we were lost. It's also really cool to just walk into the canyon and see how small you are compared to the canyon. You'll see that later. They do have porta potties in this park, which is great, of course, but just so you know, that's not the entrance. You need to go all the way down the road and the road's going to dead end into the trail. You'll probably see a lot of other cars down here too, so that'll kind of give you an idea. But here is the main thing you need to do before you go into the trail. You need to take a photo of this map. You need to download onto your GPS the map because you're not going to have any service and it's going to be really easy to get lost. Because remember, this trail just became like an official trail, so it hasn't been marked yet or anything. So you're going to be going by these little arrows in the sand, but they're not everywhere, so it gets a little complicated. So I just want to warn you off the bat, make sure you take a photo of this and make sure you follow it as your guide. Because honestly, we were like, oh, we'll just look up and we'll be able to tell where we are, but the whole trail looks exactly the same like this. It's just like top of the mountain boulders. So while you're hiking, as you can see here, you're going to be going up a lot of altitude as well. So you kind of get disoriented and things seem like way closer than they are. But as you can see here, look how small I am in regards to the boulders. So this canyon is massive, guys. It's going to take you a while to walk through. Again, it's like 4.5 miles, but it's totally worth it. I suggest wearing boots or some sort of like hiking shoes because you're going to be getting rocks galore. I don't know how it happens, but they're all going to get in your shoes. So if you're wearing tennis shoes, it's going to be like twice as bad. Take your time walking through the canyon because if you look close, you'll see like how clay has been dripping down the side. You'll see how as erosion starts beating away at the rock, you're going to see different things poke through the rock as you're walking, different shapes, different hollows inside, different boulders. Like those things just fell right off there. Like how crazy is that? Those things are like massive. And it almost feels like you're in this ancient city, just the way the rocks are formed and everything. You really feel like you're somewhere other than in the United States. That's for sure. As we were walking, we saw these people up on top of the mountain over there, and we were like, oh, we should try and get up there. And that's part of the reason, honestly, we got lost because we assumed that the path goes all the way up. But again, there's a lot of blogs. There's a lot of people who actually have gone on this path and they know what they're talking about. So definitely read the blogs and things. A lot of them are professional hikers and they'll go into more detail. Again, we just were kind of winging it to go see it because we thought it would be so cool because look at even all these rocks. Like they really look painted. This one's green, this one's blue. A lot of them looked white. Some of them even looked gold. So it was really, we got wrapped up in like looking at everything around us and we were just like, this is so cool. We weren't really paying attention where we were going. After reading the blogs and things, everyone says you should definitely go clockwise. For whatever reason, we had decided to go counterclockwise. Let me tell you, that's how we got lost. But we did get to see some of the ladders and things, so it was cool. But, you know, it led to us getting lost. So definitely go clockwise if you're coming into this canyon. And again, beautiful. It is striking in here, guys. The phone just doesn't do it justice. And it's also really crazy because it really looks like somebody just threw paint up against the like canyon here. Even though I wore boots, I still was getting rocks in there. So there's just proof that you gotta wear some boots or something besides tennis shoes to make it on this hike. And here's more proof to just take a minute and really look. Like, imagine how long this took to form, and you're just like walking right past it, but it's been buried forever. You know what I mean? There's just so much to see here. And then there's other parts that literally look like somebody took a paintbrush and was just painting all over the rocks, but it's just the way the sediment has landed. You're also going to see the most beautiful flowers just kind of poking out of nowhere. Remember, you're like in the middle of the desert, so it's also hot, but then you just have this random flowering plant. I also thought it was interesting because we were just in Joshua Tree and there was a rock shaped like a heart. And then here's another rock shaped like a heart. Like, is that a thing in this area? There's just all these heart-shaped rocks. And then we stumbled upon this mountain that had this huge chunk of rose quartz in it, and pieces of rose quartz were just falling out of it. You could see people had like broken some into like smaller pieces, but if you see the mountain, the whole mountain is rose quartz, and you can tell that pieces have just eroded away over time. It was just so cool to see that. It was truly breathtaking. Just like that much quartz, just like sticking out of the trail. Now this part, once you get to the top area, that's where we started going astray. We started walking more into the desert, but you're supposed to hug along the mountain. So as we started going into the desert and exploring the cactuses and things like that, we were actually supposed to hug the mountain and then turn back around. But we kept going, and we just kept going higher and higher, more and more desert, less and less shade. Like, this was the only shade that we had for the longest time. So what we were supposed to do was follow these two markers, but we had walked along the other side. So we ended up, I don't even know, we ended up out in the middle out here. And then we were like, let's just go as high as we can, and maybe we can tell from the top of the mountain, like, where we are. But the bittersweet moment was I actually found a hummingbird nest while we were hiking up to the top of the mountain. So that was kind of cool, but even though we were lost, it was kind of cool to see like a hummingbird in a hummingbird nest. So we just kept going up and up and up instead of going back down, down, down. So again, that was our mistake. We ended up going all the way to the top of here. We were exhausted. We hadn't brought water because we didn't realize how hard the hike was. So if you go on this hike, make sure you have water just in case you get lost. I mean, it was really pretty to look over to see all the other sides of the mountains up that high, but we definitely had gotten lost. So again, always follow these arrows and it should help you stay on course. I had stopped recording at that point because we were like dying and we just were like looking for any form of people to get us back to the car. So luckily we did find a group of people. There was actually like 6 of them walking, and they walked us back to where we recognized the trail. We made it back to the car and we were exhausted. You could tell here I was hallucinating because I just kept filming this rock because it was so sparkly. So after we exited the park, we were like, where should we go? We should go to like 7-Eleven or something to get like a slushie or like ice cream or something to cool us off. And as we were driving, there was this whole lemon field. These are all lemon trees. There was all kinds of like fun stuff over here. So if we would have been more with it, maybe we would have stopped over there. Instead, we hightailed it over to the nearest 7-Eleven, which was in Indio, which was about 10 minutes away. I got a slushie and that was like the best thing I've ever had in my life after being so hot. Then after that, we had cooled off and we were back to normal. So then we headed off to Palm Springs for lunch. If you want to see that video, make sure you hit that plus so you get a notification when I post it. Otherwise, here's some of my other videos like Adventures in Zion, Joshua Tree. Check them out and I'll see you in that video.